Happening, everybody, it's Hell Broke Lucy. Hell Broke Lucy Dupree. Made a video about 4 months ago, special message to black Christians. Try to help them end their slavery to a book that has them enslaved. Black people following the Bible is exactly like a Jew following the manifesto of Hitler and the Third Reich called the Mein Kampf. And it's insane. Black people need to set yourself free. But I'm more passionate about this video. This is to the white evangelical Christians, mostly Republicans, who have ruined our nation. I've been wondering what's going to be the center, what can trigger the topic to all these critical issues, because our country is in dire fucking straits. And Mike Pence gave it to me with his new label for Christians called values voters, similar to the one that Billy Graham planted in the head of Ronald Reagan back in the 80s, the moral majority. Well, that immoral majority is now the minority of the country. It's only about 39% of the country that are evangelical right-wing Republicans, but you're still doing a lot of damage. And I've studied your damage, and I know the extent of it. I know all about it, because that's my job in life, is exposing the horror of religion, especially Christianity and politics. So with your values voters, I'm going to describe to you exactly what a Christian values voter stands for. And I had to write it down. I had to write it all down, because I've made this video twice and left out so many things. I'm going to have to move quickly here. Rape is valuable to a values voter. They excuse the rapist and call him doing the work of God by impregnating a woman against her will. That's a values voter's value. Endless war, unnecessary war, just to keep the money machine going, just to keep the hatred going. Syria right now is living through a hell unimaginable till now. You know that windstorm that's hit the northeast starting 2 days ago, and it hit us hard here in this part of Virginia, and it's taken 5 lives? Well, it got even worse as it moved north into Maryland and further into Massachusetts. Got hit the hardest. That's terrifying. There's something about a continuous windstorm that gets on your nerves. It gets under your skin. It's frightening. It's done. They've not even started estimating the damage yet. You take that fucking windstorm, for anybody that's living in that area and hears this, multiply it by 100. Then add that daily for months, going on years now. And that's what life is like in Syria, thanks to evil empires, especially the United States of America. Those are your values. You're anti-education. You want all children to be raised stupid murderers, because an intelligent child sees through the bullshit of the right wing, and especially the Bible. I'm 60 years old. I saw the bullshit starting when I was between 13 and 14, because I was gifted with intelligence. I didn't have any support systems. I fought out, and the scars stayed for years. I've been totally free now for around 30 years. And it's my mission to expose the evil of Christianity. I'll take on the Pope. I'll take on Jimmy Swaggart. I'll take on anybody. And I will prove you to be a goddamned liar. You want children to be raised stupid, and you love these massacres. You never speak out against our poor children getting massacred, because they have no role models. Our government, by being the role model of adults, has been a piss-poor role model. And now parents don't take on their responsibilities. Those are value voters. You promote the ultra-rich, and you damn the hungry. You vote for politicians that want to add billions to a billionaire's bank account, trillions to a trillionaire's bank account. While there's no way in hell, even if I was healthy, I could go back and make the money that I made 25 years ago as a blue-collar worker. That's all because of values voters, anti-union, anti-worker, anything. You will follow any stupid, illegal, treasonous politician that uses the Bible as a platform. And then that politician has sold out to the highest bidder. Not mention that you're against the living wage. Dead against the living minimum federal wage. That's a value to you people. You're against single-payer health care when we can afford it. All we got to do is stop blowing money on evil things that the evil politicians that you vote into office blow it on. Trillions tied up in our war machine that's not necessary. $98 billion a year in subsidy welfare to fossil fuel because of values voters. You want that insane military budget that totals now about $6 trillion. It's higher than the next 11 most powerful countries combined. And we just added another $158 billion that the public knows about and another $800 billion under the table by values politicians. You're against the infrastructure rebuild that would put back to work every single American who is capable of physical work and good pay. It would be good pay. Values voters are against that. You'd rather spend those billions and trillions on war and welfare for the ultra-rich. You racist. Racism is higher right now in America than it's ever been in my lifetime, except for possibly during the, I was born in '57. There was a lot of still lynchings going on of black people. That never made the news. Values voters don't give a fuck about the 3,700 innocent blacks that were lynched in the 20th century. That's a values voter. And that means Christian. You're sexist. You're still taking the rights away from women. You're still subjugating women. You're still voting for the politicians that keep them, their wage, 12 to 15% lower than a man's wage. That's a values voter's moral. You're homophobic. You're too goddamn ignorant to study science and learn that it's a proven fact that every sexual gender is born that way through genes and through chemicals, mostly in the female body. It's natural. That's Mike Pence's big idea of a values voter. To do this reconditioning therapy for naturally gay people. You're ignorant. You're anti-nature. You're full of hate for most demographics of humanity. Only you, 40 million evangelical Christian values voters, are the only ones you support, and the white ones. And you've got your token Uncle Tom in there now and then, like Ben Carson. You're for beating gay out of children. You still promote violence, mass violence on children. Beat the hell out of them. That's a values voter. I never once had to beat my children. My grandfather taught me, if you can't outsmart the children, you can't outsmart the students in school, you got no business being a teacher, and you got no business being a parent. I ain't never laid a finger on either of my children. They're exemplary. You vote for treasonous politicians. As soon as a politician's open his mouth on his platform about religion, especially Christianity, he has committed treason against the First Amendment of the United States of America's Constitution. You people aren't patriots. Us liberals and progressives are patriots. I will protect your right to go to any church. I will protect the Second Amendment. But I got a sensible way for the Second Amendment to be administered, as do moral human voters, but not a values voter. You are for every insane person in this country to have an unlimited military-grade arsenal with thousands and thousands and thousands of rounds of ammunition and silencers and bump stocks, which make them automatics. That's a values voter. The promotion of death. The Bible Belt is also the pornography belt of the nation, which proves your hypocrisy, your intentional repeating of hypocrisy, which damns you to hell. But like I said, 90% of you have no clue as to the commandments of your Bible. And your preachers have lied to you, saying once you're saved, you can go fuck up all you want to on purpose and say, Jesus, forgive me. That's a fucking lie according to the Bible. Once you've given your life and been saved in intentional remission of these sins, there is no sacrifice for it. Because in your myth, your Christ was the last blood sacrifice. And every sin takes a blood sacrifice. That's the only law out of the old law that was lifted by Jesus. He was the last blood sacrifice. Before that, you had to sacrifice something for every sin. You support, in vast numbers, 78% of the conservatives support sexual predators that rape children, that brag about grabbing women's pussy. You are the values voters, and you're going down gradually every year. You are the problem with our nation. The problem. And I will fight you every day until I'm dead. You have no human morals. You have no compassion. You have no empathy. You have no goodness in you. You're the right